Okay, I'm trying to not forget what it was like to have the mentality of working and making $10 an hour and being where I am today, where like my first commission check in sales, my first one. Do you want to know how much it was? $70,000. Just on a random Tuesday into my bank account. There you go. Dropped into my bank account. Now, of course, taxes are a thing. So what I ended up with was $45,000 in the bank account. But still, if today I was like, hey, by the way, you're getting 45 grand dropped into your account. How'd you feel about that? You feel pretty good? And here's the thing. I don't know if the neuroscience of money is a thing, but I have a degree in neuroscience, and I love talking about money. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how your brain, this is not just mindset stuff. Like, this is actual neurochemistry. Will limit you from how much money you make. Because there's a part of your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex, and its job is to create a mental model of reality. And it's constantly checking against your lived experience. Hey, does this match what we expect life to be? And when it doesn't match the expectation, it triggers like an error response, and there's a dip in dopamine. And in that moment right there, that moment when you're like, oh, fuck, this is not what I thought was going to happen. And I'll explain like what that looks like tangibly in a second. You have two choices you can make. It's like when a railroad has like two tracks, you can either flip the switch to be on the track towards the amygdala, which is fear, which is fight or flight, which is safety, and safety to the brain means keeping you exactly the same. Scientifically, that is what the job of the brain is to do when it's trying to keep you safe. It's to keep you exactly the same. Homeostasis, the same. Or you can flip the switch and track yourself towards the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's in charge of emotional regulation, decision-making, thinking about the future, and impulse control. Now, in that moment when the dopamine drops and there's an error, let me give you an example. You might be watching this video right now and being like, she made $70,000 in one commission check? That's not possible. That's your anterior cingulate cortex being like, bro, we're going to keep you the same. We're going to keep you the same. How many times have you heard, are there millionaires out there? Yes. Are there billionaires out there? Yes. Are there trillionaires out there? Yes, now I can say that. And I might have just triggered you. But stay with me. Does that exist? Yes. Okay? Your anterior cingulate cortex, to know which track it's on, you can tell immediately. When you hear those things, if you say, must be nice for them, that's cool for them, that would never happen to me. Anterior cingulate cortex routed you to your amygdala. You're staying the same. Nothing's happening. You're going to stay at $10 an hour or wherever you're at. Okay? If your response when you hear other people making more money is like, bro, how did you do that? Tell me what your Tuesday looks like. Prefrontal cortex. Okay? It's a conscious choice. That moment when the dopamine drops and the error is picked up from your anterior cingulate cortex, that is the difference between protection and action. Literally, that's how the brain works. Amygdala or prefrontal cortex. And like the wrench, like the thing that gives you leverage to get your brain to start routing towards the prefrontal cortex and away from the amygdala in that situation, is you just have to ask yourself this one question. What would need to be true to make that possible? Okay? Why? Because that opens up creativity. Creativity generates dopamine. Dopamine is the fuel that gets the railroad to travel to the prefrontal cortex. So all that to say is that I spent a lot of my life, when I was making $10 an hour and I heard people making more, I was like, that's impossible. Amygdala. I was really stuck in fight or flight. I was stuck in survival mode. I had such a poverty mindset. And it wasn't until this one person broke me free, Rachel Rodgers, actually. I'm not a huge fan of her. I don't really condone her as a person, but she was the person who changed my mindset. And she has a book called Everyone Should Be Millionaires. I do recommend the book. Not a fan of the person, but I'm very much a fan of the concept that she has. And she was the one who allowed me to switch the train tracks to my prefrontal cortex and say like, oh shit, it's okay to want money. It's okay to desire this, and it's possible. And so whatever you need to do to convince yourself that it's possible and it's for you, no matter what circumstance you have, no matter what diagnosis you have, no matter where you live, no matter where you come from, no matter what your education level is, it is fucking possible.